Hey guys, Jay here again, Running Relics Garage. Just want to give you the update on how close the 56 on the Mountaineer chassis is. The light is not the best. It's bright outside, and so I'm trying to work through that. So put up with me a little bit, would you? We're really close. Let's take a walk around, and I want to show you what it is we're at. Let me turn this thing around. All right, so from front to back, got the other wheel spacer and painted. I still have to put that spacer on there and paint that wheel. The rest of them are all done. But you can see that this really steps out here quite well. And so sits out there really good. And so we've got all the running boards and the bracing. One last brace to go on in this section right here that'll go up underneath and out, which I've got the angle iron, I just haven't got to it. But what I'm focusing on is only the things that'll keep it from running right now. And so as we work away around the back, I got all of the wiring, the taillight wiring, all laid out. And so that'll run to the taillights there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the rest of this wiring harness and I'm going to wrap it up right here behind the seat. Let's jump inside. So right here behind the seat is a nice space right there. I'm going to wrap that up and leave that on the inside. Probably put me a little panel right there. And then I'll just run specifically tail lights out there because I don't want that wiring harness to get wet. So I do have to add one more piece of sheet metal to the back of the cab down to the floor of the Explorer. Then that'll be complete. I've got all the window seals, all those things in, so the doors are doing good. I've got the lower dash and everything from the Explorer completely functioning. This is kind of cool because when I do open the glove box door, it's really a vent for the air conditioner to come out. So I think I'm going to use that other hole as another air conditioner vent. I have the rest of those. That's the wiring that goes from the from the front to the back of the tail lights. That's that gray plug right there. Got the rest of the threshold and rocker panels in. So the interior is really pretty close. I get around the other side, I'll show you the odometer and all that stuff there. Of course, I already showed you the gas cap, all that stuff. So what I worked on yesterday, I'm going to step out almost outside, but to the end of the garage here. Yesterday is I got the tail lights on. So that little bracket that comes off of there, this bracket was actually too long. It set out here another 1.5 inches. I ended up cutting that bracket and then just tacking it back together just to suck that thing in there a little bit. So now I have both tail lights wired. Of course, there's my temporary wire because I was just making sure everything was functional and everything is in place. So I've got the back of the truck with those tail lights. I think that's a good look. Let me know what you think. I don't like those big trailer looking lights, the stock 53 to 56 tail lights. Look like big giant trailer lights on the back. So this looks more like what the 47 to 52 would look like. So I really like those. I have a lady I've been talking with, and she's out in Fallon, about 60 miles from here. She has a barnwood, and so I'm gonna look at get barnwood. I have the all the runners inside of that, so those are all right there in the garage right there still. So all those runners between the barnwood are all there. So the again, the other side, the wheels, I got the wheels and the spacers and all that stuff. That's my only bad tire. So I think I'm going to change the size of the tires. But money is one of those things that dictate that now, doesn't it? So yeah, the rest of the wiring, again, that'll all tuck in. There's a lot of excess because of the 4-door. So I've been working on clipping off and finding out for certain what is not usable. This is the relays. These are actually relays for the back of what would be the Explorer. And that's, of course, for the rear windows, the power locks, all of those kinds of items. And so I know there's some, 2 hot wires in there, so I'll probably use those when I wrap everything up in the back of the cab. And, of course, run the taillight wire. But I'll run those, so that gives me an interior power. And I'll run that interior power up on the inside and then to the back, so I can run a dome light and external power chargers or something like that in there. Of course, I have all of the running board and all that stuff on this side complete. And I have one mirror, another mirror just like this, except it's a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to put that on and I'm going to bring it down. Now, this didn't have the original, you know, they got an external kind of a bullet looking mirror for stock. I'm gonna sneeze here. And so this had the big West Coast mirrors on it when it originally was built, because this was a long bed, so it had those big mirrors. But I think I'm just gonna take a little bit larger mirror like this. Just gonna bring it down a little bit so I can look through this part of the wind wing in order to get there. Let me open the door and see what I'm looking at here. So I have the stock Explorer gauges right here. Let me move the steering wheel. There we go. Stock Explorer gauges. They sit back a little farther than I like, but at least they're there and they're visible. I am having a problem with the fuel gauge and the temperature gauge right there. Everything else is working. So the tach, the odometer, the oil, the charging, all that stuff is working. And when I had a hold of it, I think I had a hold of it and I might have pinched a connection or something there. So I'm really gonna have to look into that. My lighting bracket, all that stuff is here. And so I wonder if you can see it. Yeah, when you turn it on, these lights are here coming on right there when I turn those on. So the one thing I am working on is right here inside of this. I have to pull this down. I have to pull this down because of this blinker. Inside here, there's a little connection. And right now, when I tell it to tilt and the tilt goes up and down, it pinches a couple of wires and gives me a little problem. So I'm going to pull that out. I started looking around. That's a common Explorer issue. So that shouldn't be too hard. I have the, of course, the cover, the panel goes across there. That's no problem. I did do the rest of the interior with the threshold and the rocker panels. So I got those. I got these actually from the Explorer that just go from transition from the carpet out. So that's all good to go. I got the rest of the weather seal on the inside of this door. Now this door here is probably my most difficult door, because again the truck on the inside right up there at the cab was hit, remember, by the tree, and so it's tweaked this cab a little bit. The other thing is that these hinges are pretty much shot. The pin on that there hinge is just shot. So what I've really got to do is pick this door up and then get it to close. So that's pushing it pretty hard. So the wheels up front are done. All of the bracketing across here is done. I did take a splash panel and put it right across the front. Now what that did is it started covering up some items that are up underneath there. There's the windshield motor that's up underneath there. There's a large electrical connector that's there. There's the brain that sits right there. And I think one more, either a valve or something like that. A vacuum canister is right there. That's, you can just see the end of it. So once I put that in, it really covers all of that stuff up. I like that. This is the transition, of course, that you can see the most between the Explorer and the F100. This top panel here, my goal is to replace that, but I just put something on there just right now so that it doesn't look so bad, and then I can continue working on it. I believe what I'll do is I have a piece of the floor from the F100 left. I'm going to cut out a panel that'll go all the way across here and then down. So it'll be one piece from the front of the cab, come out over the Explorer and down just enough to hide that. So I think that'll be a one piece across there. So that's, again, it's not going to keep it from running. It's the next thing on my project. All that stuff is good to go. You've seen the tail lights in the back. And then here's the headlights and the blinker in the front. Running light and blinker. So that's a two-part light. Of course, the 56 only ring that goes to that light. I do need to lift that up just a little bit in the front here so I can get both those in. I have to have, of course, headlights, blinkers in order to run. I do want to come back and fill in the valance holes, or I don't necessarily want to put in any kind of other lighting or something in there, but who knows. So probably just want to fill that in and make that smooth across the front. So that's where I'm at now. Okay, so and here's my light and my wiring. So as you can see, right blinker is what that says, and this says headlights. I found out it's a headlight and the running light is in the center of the blinker. So anyways, we'll have running lights and blinkers there at the same time. So let me close this door, and then I need you guys' thought and our opinion. Okay, so I've got a couple people we've been discussing this. So with the hood or without the hood? I like it currently without the hood. Nikki says, hey, we need to look at putting the hood on there. I do have the hood. I'll have to use NASCAR style hinges because the inner hinge bracket for the stock has been pushed in. Actually, I think was it cut? Yeah, it was cut and actually pulled out. And so the stock hood will not fit for the hinges. I can use the hood and just build NASCAR style, which is a one solid piece that just flips up right here. I'll just have to put NASCAR hinges on there, which is no problem, race car hinges. So anyways, with the hood or without the hood, that's what I need to hear you guys. I really just kind of like it without right now. Man, it's been fun. That air cleaner, you can really hear that thing, pulling in the air. And I will also with the exhaust. There's a cats. I'm going to cut the cats out, the rear cats, and then that's a 2-inch exhaust, single exhaust. I'm going to run that for now until either money or option to be able to get other stuff. So that's where I'm at and having a blast. Oh, the punch list, man! I've got the punch list just about completely done here. So everything that was supposed to be done on the driver's side, I got a cab corner to finish, paint the wheel and spacer, which is on the passenger side, driver's side, man, kick panel on the inside, fender bolts, door trim, roll pan, running board, the running board support. I've moved that down here to the things that have to do that doesn't keep it from operating and functioning. Want to be able to drive it first, and then we can keep getting it better after that. Currently doing rear lights, front lights. That's currently what we're doing right now. The exhaust, the bedwood, the cab wall, the rear cab wall, fuel cap, which right there is the fuel cap for the Explorer. So of course I'll want to do something with that when I do the bed. And another driver's side door support, bed support. So those are the things. So we've really got it knocked out right now. Again, I like the looks of the tail light from this side also. Headlights are going to be going in. With or without the cab, with or without the hood, I'm sorry. That's my question. Y'all let me know about that. And so the other question some of the guys are asking is, do we leave it just a dull paint scheme, or do we, comet wash it, SOS, scuff everything down smooth, and then put a kind of a satin shine on it? Not super shiny, super glossy, but just a nice little light shine on it so that it's done. I kind of like that. That's what I'm thinking. So let me know. Let me turn this around. Hey, thanks again for watching. Again, let me know about the hood or not. Any other thoughts or comments, lights, headlights, those kinds of things, and we'll get going. So like, subscribe, give me comments, whatever it is you like. We'll talk to y'all later. Thanks much.